Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Aquarius January 4, 2023. Energies waver a little, but you're in mostly good spirits. You may deal with doubt or fears about what you can handle. It's likely a fleeting feeling, and although it may not seem productive, you might discover something important about yourself if you examine things. Today simply requires some reorientation. As the day progresses, your confidence is likely to build. Also today, Venus heads into your soul sector, where it will stay until the 26th. This transit can point to a winding down period for your affections or a period when you need extra time to get in better touch with your feelings. There can be a greater love of private moments during this cycle. External or material achievement seems less important to you, and your personal life assumes bigger proportions. There's a little more mystery in your love life or with your feelings. A delightful day is upon you. You're being spotlit by the magic of the cosmos yet again. Mental Mercury, the planet of the mind and communication, continues his happy retrograde dance through your solar 11th house and will sparkle in a sextile with Neptune, your planetary ruler, who is now in your solar first house of identity. A soulmate connection could manifest before your eyes if you are single, especially if there's someone you met previously or even an ex. If committed, use this energy to align your hearts more closely together. You'll feel like you're spinning in a fairy tale. Do you know who your true friends are at work? You may need to be a little bit more honest with yourself about your professional network when Mercury retrograde in Capricorn sextiles Neptune in your sign while the Sun in Capricorn trines the North Node in Taurus. Since the two transits could help you see your professional connections more clearly, it might be time to reconsider who you are loyal to. Later today, Venus will enter Aquarius, which will illuminate your subconsciousness and allow you to navigate the inner workings of your work connections more logically. Having moved into this new financial year with Jupiter in your income sector means that you not only have luck on your side from the start, but you are in for quite a journey. While still not up to full speed after his direct turn, Jupiter will have his foot on the gas until leaving in May, and over the coming weeks and months support will kick in that will contribute to the income growth and expansion ahead. Today's planetary transit makes you highly sensitive to the needs of others. You would like to see those around you feeling good. Truly, the most effective way of expressing this desire is to feel good yourself. Perhaps on your run today you will feel like acknowledging other runners, connecting in that way that only people with sweat pouring down their faces can. Or you may want to attend a virtual yoga class where you can experience the group high of many people treating their bodies well. This is the kind of day that you love. You will probably find that on this day you have ample time for the important people in your life. Now is the time to take something that you all enjoy doing and develop it into a tradition. If this circle of people is still fairly new, it is the ideal time to consider putting down the building blocks that cement its foundations. This will hold true in business relations as well as personal. The moon will remain in your communication sector until just after Venus leaves your friendship sector today, staying on to keep the communication lines open but also connecting with planets on both fronts that will keep the momentum going. This gives you the confidence of knowing that a social and communication focus will continue when Venus not only returns to a more nostalgic and reflective part of your chart but to take your heart on a 24-day nostalgic trip down memory lane. Knowing that the moon will not only return for its first visit to your romantic sector for the year later in the week but as the first full moon of 2023, already has your hearts over the horizon radar on alert. This will set the scene for a romantically charged weekend, something that pre-warned gives you plenty of time to prepare for. Our eyes in the sky. Venus enters Aquarius in the evening, allowing us to understand what we desire from a cerebral point of view when it comes to relationships. This transit enables us to take baby steps toward finding what our heart wants as we proceed with caution in romantic matters. The Sun shares a connection with the nodes of destiny, urging us to embrace our confidence, power, passion, and self-esteem as we move through the day. The month starts with Venus entering Aquarius on January 2nd. When the planet of love is in the sign of the water bearer, we can expect a hands-off and aloof approach to expressing our sentiments. Although we want to connect with others, we do so on more of a cerebral level, which involves a meeting of the minds and intellect rather than physical touch. The 6th brings the first full moon of 2023, this one in Cancer, which means that we could undergo an emotional and mental release in the first days of the new year. This is extremely beneficial because we're able to let go of the past and move into a different headspace for the year. This particular full moon can bring up many power struggles and issues from the past, which is why it's a good time to let go of negativity and move forward toward a more positive place. January 12th marks the end of the Mars retrograde that began in Gemini on October 30th, 2022. Now that we've seen situations and relationships from a different perspective, it's up to us to decide how we want to move forward with the information we've gathered. The Mercury retrograde ends on the 18th in Capricorn, allowing us to heal from all the miscommunications and mishaps that we might have experienced with family or when traveling over the holidays. The Sun enters Aquarius on January 20th, just before the new moon in the same sign the next day. Although it's taken a few weeks, we can now begin to see our resolutions for 2023 come to fruition. Uranus in Taurus turns direct on the 22nd, and Venus enters Pisces 4 days later, making the end of the month sweeter than the start as our fantasies and desire for romance peak. In the morning, the Taurus moon squares off with Saturn in Aquarius, perpetuating isolation. We are in a stubborn mood, prepared to dig in our heels and draw out arguments to get our way. Deep down inside, we are probably aware we are making the problem worse by being inflexible. However, we have convinced ourselves that we are sticking to our principles. This heightens contention between ourselves and those in our community who are looking for a progressive solution. Should we resort to temper tantrums, we will wind up regretful of our conduct down the road. After sunup, the Capricorn Sun squares off with Chiron in Aries, stimulating sensitivities. We believe we are not receiving recognition for our hard work or talents. Instead of becoming angry, we feel embarrassed. To maintain a sliver of self-esteem, we can convince ourselves that because we weren't given a break, others shouldn't be either. This logic may be mimicking the voice of an elder figure, perhaps a paternal one who failed to cut us slack in our youth. Try to step back from the immediacy of irritating or frustrating interactions today. Whose voice is in your head? Think of all the healing that you could offer, not only to your inner child, but to those around you, if you chose a different tactic and broke the chain of criticism.